like people are losing their mind, because on the internet everyone's like, "Oh, it's so buggy and this and that and blah 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 and blah 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 this and that," and it's really fucking annoying, But
Yeah.
overall, it's a really good. Every game has some bugs in it, some slight little issues. A person like walks through another person, something stupid.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure people. That's what people live for, to
Yeah.
complain. I'm
Yeah.
at that point
Yeah.
right now. I'm realizing when you have things that are beautiful and they're perfect, and you're like one thing glitches, and they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Do you have any idea what it
rage
takes to make a
and,
game like this?
Mhm.
Like, you have any idea
Yeah.
what it is to code like this?"
Yeah, I agree, Brian. It's just kind of being outraged just for the sake of being outraged, like we talked about many times. No, it's bugs are inevitable in games, and if I try not to let it be enough to ruin the entire experience with it, if I'm having a legitimately fun time with it, like I've been doing with this.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it's because because we're getting older and we start to understand what it takes to do these things, and to just these little things don't take the enjoyment out of it.
Mhm.
The storyline is great when things are awesome, and it's like, once again, I know what coding is. I know how many lines of the stuff it takes to make this damn game. I'm not going to complain about that. Like,
Mhm.
I understand it. Just like you understand with CGI. Like, sometimes you understand what it takes to do this stuff in the movie, and then I'm not gonna complain. It just I complain less because I understand what it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so there's that, and then that part is coming from a lot of Xbox player or people because they don't get the game, so they're all angry about it. So they're like, complaining about, "Oh, look at that! That looks like shit." I was like, dude. And the Dre Max said, "I'm already in the game, but I do love the story so far." Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just met Harry Osborn,
Mhm.
and I'm a little bit past that part, so that's super early in the game.
Yeah, the Harry stuff is really good. It's legitimately endearing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're setting up for it to be painful later. I can already tell it's too nice.
Because my boy Peter Parker can't catch a break.
Isn't that the point of Peter Parker? Isn't that just what he is?
Just suffering.
Yeah, just suffering, which I hate for my boy. Like, give my boy a break, let him live.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Peter Parker's synonymous with suffering, so that's why we'll give you another one. We'll go ahead and give you Miles Morales because he actually could have some things.
Yeah. Well, in this game, they make him suffer too. They kill off his dad.
Like, but we know that's what he does. He does that.
Yeah.
It's a canon moment, right?
In the game, the uncle lives. So the uncle lives in Miles, the last one, Miles Morales game. The uncle lives and the father dies, but the father dies in Spider-Man 1. So it's kind of, they flipped it a little bit.
It's so funny because like they keep him. Is his last name Davis? Is it Morales? I don't know. I think it's his government name.
Yeah. My Peter is suffering too. My Peter Parker is suffering too. That's all this. But there's a whole nother side about this this game that people are losing their damn minds. They're calling it woke. Surprise, surprise. So there's Black Cat in it. I don't think that's spoiling. You can see it in the trailers when Kraven goes to the city in the trailer. You see all the different characters like that he's gonna hunt, and Black Cat's one. And I guess I haven't got to it yet, but I guess there's a part where she's talking and she moved on from Peter and she has a girlfriend, and so people are losing their damn minds about that. Even though, I think it was like in the 80s or no 90s, early 90s in the comic books, she has a girlfriend. So, but obviously people don't care about that. But yeah, so there's that, and there's like some of the kids, actually one of the kids so far, at Miles's school is gay. So, they're making a big stink about that.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not like it's not like gay people don't exist in our everyday lives. And even if they like, what are you getting so butthurt about that they're getting represented in media? They're people too. They exist too. We encounter them too. I don't see what the big problem is. Why are you getting all butthurt about it?
Yeah, it's not even a playable character or anything. It's just
it's just it's an NPC, just a character that you pass by in a cutscene.
No, you do a side mission for but a side mission. It's not even a main mission. It's a side mission. It's a little goofy thing. And then there's one other character that people are getting angry about, and that's Miles's quote unquote girlfriend in the game, who is obviously a black young woman, teenager that goes to his school, but she's deaf. So that's woke. That's literally getting a lot of hate too, because I guess so in Spider-Man 1 you play a mini mission as Mary Jane, and I guess you do that again in this game, and then in this game you also play a mini mission as her, as I forgot what her name is. So people are upset about that she's deaf.
I was like, man, can't imagine my wife being deaf.
Yeah. I mean, and then they do sign in the game and stuff like that. It's optional. Yeah, it's an optional part too.
Are they going to like teach everyone how to sign?
Yeah, which would be awesome. I think you should definitely learn how to sign. It's such a cool thing. Yeah, and it's optional, so you don't even have to do it. There you go. So, but I'm like, same thing as like what Brand said. Like, there's deaf people in the world. Since forever, same thing, like there's gay people in the world. So people losing their mind over stuff like that, it was just like, so you're mad at people, basically.
I don't understand what there is to get so outraged about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't understand what there is to be so outraged about. It's ridiculous.
I love YouTube, and I've gotten to a point right now where honestly I watch, probably listen to YouTube more than I even listen to my radio, because I listen to like talk radio. So like of course I do football, I do all this other stuff. So I'll listen to YouTube, and it's just some people just want to it's clickbait. It makes no sense. I'm just going to talk about stuff, and I'm complaining about crap that doesn't matter. Give me good opinions. I like listening to see, and this is what goes back to the small content creator, because I'd rather have one who has that makes sense, that says things because it makes sense, or they want to put opinion out there that's not just about clicking and the same crap over.
A valid argument. I might not agree with your argument, but you can make valid points to your argument. And I get it. I'm not a big debate kind of person. But I like having a conversation, and especially if you're on two different sides, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and debate. I fucking hate that. But having a conversation with two different sides, I think, is a little different than having like a debate, because no one's trying to prove their point. They're just talking about this is how I see it. This is how I see it. So yeah, it is annoying.
It's ludicrous.
Putin's cat said, Helen Keller would give them
constipation.
Conniption.
Conniption.
Okay, yeah,
conniption.
Yeah. Her name is Haley Cooper, I think. Yeah, Haley. Yep.
Haley. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah. I thought it was something completely different, and I couldn't kind of place it. But then I'm still pretty early on in the game myself.
Yeah, she's a brand new character. She got introduced in Miles Morales game. Yeah, I think she's in any of the comic books that I remember. So she's just completely.
So everything with Miles is going to be woke.
Yeah. In his game,
I'll say Afro Latina with a white girl. That's woke.
Yeah.
Afro Latina with a black girl. Woke. Deaf.
There's
woke.
No, there's no pleasing or placating these people. Yeah. And like one thing that I've always liked about Spider-Man is he's always kind of something that I always associate with the character, that he does stand up for the little guy, be it no matter where they're from, if they have disabilities, that sort of thing. So I really think that the inclusion, in addition to me not having any problem with it anyway, I think it goes hand in hand with the character, and it almost like kind of them including it in the video game just kind of pleases me because I feel like it really enhances the world that he inhabits.
Boy,
Yeah.
Brandon, that's the
I know.
coolest thing he just said. That exactly.
Or whoever showed Prince Cat, Spider-Man, part spider, woke. Too much. You can't please everyone, even Jesus had enemies. Exactly. But yeah, like Brandon was saying, it's ludicrous, it's crazy. And like Brian said, like just being who he is gonna have a lot of those naysayers in that stuff. If you want to argue that he's Spider-Man is Peter Parker, all that at least that's a little bit more of a problem, where Miles maybe should be his own hero and not live in the shadow. But just say like, oh, he's black. Like that's not an argument, man. It's like what? So but in his game, in his solo game, he had a lot of stuff too. Like there was a big mural that they said Black Lives Matter. People lost their mind with that shit. There's a few other things, so yeah, it's just like Brian said, just who he is gonna bring up a lot of controversy and a lot of these people. But
exactly what Horky just said, brought up right now.
Yeah, what it brings up. Horky, you literally get a gold Black Lives Matter suit, for doing the community missions in the Miles Morales game. Yeah, and people lost, and that was a cool suit too. People lost their minds for that. I think my thumbnail, because I played the game, I played it on my personal channel. One of my thumbnails is him in that suit in front of the mural. I mean, everyone did it too, but that was one of my thumbnails because it was cool. It was cool, but
it's funny. Like I can have problems with something and still respect something. Like you don't have to always agree with everything and say, but for it all to be negative. Like everything can't be that. Everything. I feel like that's what you have to do. That's what you do. I'm gonna find one part that I don't agree with it, and the whole thing got to be thrown away.
Oh yeah. Well, look at the movie, the last Spider-Man movie. She had like a corner of what maybe was a trans flag or something in her room. It was something along those lines, and people lost their minds. I was like, what? Like, why are you looking at that? Like, you're literally looking for something to like the whole movie sucks. I was like,
grasping at straws just to be outraged.
Fake outrage clowns get wet when they hear the word woke. Yep.
Woke? What? Like, whatever, bro. Like,
they're it's just so weird and exhausting to me. That's all I'm gonna say. Without taking too many pot shots at it just has to be exhausting, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I just don't care.
Well, it's getting to where it becomes so mind numbing that I'm probably on the verge of just tuning it out.
I mean, I always feel like it's important to point out. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's important because I don't want things to just fall on deaf ears too much. Because when it's hard. Because I do want to say when you're stupid, it's important for me to say you're stupid. Just what I run a business, right? And I think it's something I'm opening these new stores, right? And it's important for me to say, like with managers, especially with new people coming in, I always say, anytime you don't say something, it gets to a point where you okay it. This is just the world, so I'm okaying it. And that's kind of, I don't want to ever get to that point. Yeah. So, if something's stupid, I gotta say, yeah, you're stupid.
Yeah. Then it kind of like, by you ignoring it, kind of allows them to build an audience, and then the audience gets bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you're like, now you can't, fight it, or you just seem like, and we see it all the time, not just in this topic, but just in every kind of topic, especially in the world today. But yeah, it is something,
What can I do? It's just part of everything.
Yeah. Speaking of mind, and that, I know I don't want to get too much, but that's why the recasting is. If we just accept like, oh well, we got TJ now, we're cool. It's like, no, we recast, and people are like, oh, why don't you shut up already? It's like, because if we shut up, then it's like it's over. So and you accept it, so you can't stay quiet. All right. One last comment. People also get mad that Mary J is not super hot consistently comparing her to Black Cat. Like, move on. Yeah. They're like, she's not even hot. I would pick the hot chick. I was like, good for you. I was like,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But that is another. I mean, anything you can make an argument for. I know, like Brian, like kind of said, like anything. They're like, look at that, and there's literally pointing everything out, and it's kind of annoying because it is a fun game. It is a good game so far. But all right, let's move on.